because nobody can understand how Hillary Clinton and Obama are making this kind of 180 with everything that they have been peddling for so long. You know, that they have been against Trump and had this pushing for this Trump derangement syndrome and saying that, that what Trump is doing to immigrants is despicable. But it turns out right now, I forgot to generate some subtitles here. Right now, both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, for some reason, they are becoming moderate to the point that we could say that they're betraying their fan base. Because, Hillary Clinton, in the clip that you're about to watch, says literally that immigration was this failed thing, that is a net negative to society. And yes, this was from 24 hours ago, and I'm going to explain why is this happening.
I think we need to call it for what it is.
Secretary
There
Clinton.
is a legitimate reason to have a debate about things like migration. It went too far. It's been disruptive and destabilizing, and it needs to be fixed in a humane way with secure borders that don't torture and kill people.
There you have it. Hillary said that herself. What is going on? I have an idea. I have an idea, and Virginia has to do with it. Monterey County Republican Party. Yeah, immigration went too far. We need secure borders and strong families. Yeah, this is what they're doing. They know that the numbers are not good for the midterms. They know that they have to change the narrative urgently, and that's what Hillary and Barack are doing. And also Hillary Clinton. More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama than were in the first Trump term or this first year or of Trump's second term. What is going on? What is happening?
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year.
I would like to have some community notes with the cages and detention camps for the kids under the Obama administration. I'm pretty sure that people already know that Hillary is lying, but she is somehow bragging that the deportations under her husband and Obama were way more efficient. So she is also acknowledging that Biden essentially opened the border and created a crisis. Yeah, they are saying this, and you can imagine that, let's say, their base, Democrats, liberals, the woke herd are a bit confused, as in, what is going on? So we should refrain from going to protests, pro-immigrant against ICE or something? Oh no, it's because the way that Donald Trump is doing it is wrong. He's killing people. I mean, 2 people. That is the count. Just 2 people. And we know under which circumstances, because those 2 people were domestic terrorists, confirmed domestic terrorists. And yeah, they provoked law enforcement more than once. So statistically, that's a death wish. That's basically a death wish. So you got what you wanted.
Of Trump's second term. So I think it's important.
And applause, and people applauding. Okay, so yeah. And what happens in 9 years ago? Thanks, Svetlana Lokova, for this clip. What was Hillary saying back then? Oh my God.
To just be grossly generalistic.
What was she saying about Trump's fans, by the way?
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And he has lifted them up. He has given voice to their websites.
So I guess that Hillary is xenophobic right now because she's saying that immigration has gone out of control. What happened to that speech from Billie Eilish at the Grammys. I think was at the Grammys that nobody is illegal on stolen land. What happened to that? Oh, they had to. They were very silent about that. I have to remind you that was the plan all along, thanks to Liberty Train. The Cloward-Piven strategy is a political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologists and political activists Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. It was unfettered immigration, and I'm not going to elaborate on this right now because I made a video on my Body Language Guy channel aptly named How Governments Use Illegal Immigration to Control You. If you want to understand, this is 20 minutes long, but I tell you, let's say the whole thing, how does it works, how it works in the UK, how they wanted it to work in the United States and they almost got away with it, how they use illegal immigration to control you. All these governments, that is basically, they want to create chaos via the unfettered immigration, and via the chaos, then the population in general would not be able to organize themselves against the government. They will be basically fighting themselves and the Abroadians and everyone else. So that is the strategy. And what about Obama? Obama has his own takes that are, let's say, he's got liberals scratching their heads in a big way. Now, Obama breaks with Gavin Newsom. Who you remember that Gavin Newsom was at some point the candidate? Oh, the one who was polling the best, and now the one who is polling the best is Kamala Harris. Kamala, I forgot how to say her name. Sorry, I apologize. Names are important for me. Kamala Harris is the one polling the best for 2028. Let that sink in. Kamala Harris. Gavin Newsom in second place, and Gavin Newsom is going to poll even lower after, well, people realize that Barry is throwing him under the bus. Homeless encampments in California must go. We should recognize that the average person doesn't want to have to navigate around a tent city in the middle of downtown LA. That's a losing political strategy. And that also applies for, New York City's Zohran Mamdani. No, see, they are eating themselves. They are destroying themselves, and I'm here for it.
The same would be true, let's say, here in Los Angeles around the homeless issue. I think morally, ethically speaking, it is an atrocity that in a country this wealthy, we have people just on the streets.
A lot of those people who are on the streets and they are not in, in special housing or in places that they can have food and shelter is because they want to get high. They are junkies. So again, you're being disingenuous about it's not that the country is wealthy. It's that these people just want to get high.
And we should have we should insist on policies that recognize their full humanity, people who are houseless, and be able to provide them the help and resources that they need.
The help and the resources is there. The help and the resources is there. They won't leave the homeless encampments because of the aforementioned reasons.
But we should also recognize that the average person, doesn't want to have to navigate around a tent city in the middle of downtown.
You're being I don't know what be racist or what. I don't know. There should be a word for being anti-homeless tent people.
And that we're not going to be able to build a working majority and support for the resources that we need to help folks like that, whether it's drug treatment or temporary housing or what have you. We're not going to be able to generate support for it if we simply say, you know what, it's not their fault, and so they should be able to do whatever they want, because that's a losing political strategy.
I don't know. That is a clip that I'm going to play many times in the following years.
You know what? It's not their fault, and so they should be able to do whatever they want.
It's like they should be able to do whatever they want. And yeah, that's when you find out why they don't move to shelters, they don't move to places that they can, I don't know, do something, be protected from the environment, be protected from, I don't know, all the insecurity out there. It's because, yes, they want to. They want to get high. They want to use drugs as much as they want. I'm not saying that every single homeless person is like that, but statistically is usually precisely because the United States, and especially California, is so wealthy that it's not a problem about if their resources to this. It's more of a problem that, of behavior. So there's that. Maybe they can change drug laws, but I don't know. Obama now says Democrats need to stop their virtue signaling. There was a virtue signaling that made it seem as if ordinary folks did not say things in exactly the right way or meet this litmus test, that they were being chastised. All right, so maybe the left would stop canceling people because Barry now says this. I mean, these are huge 180s that they are doing.
We did turn off. I think there was a certain way of talking about issues for Democrats where we sounded like scolds. And I've said this before. There was a virtue signaling that made it seem as if ordinary folks, if they did not say things in exactly the right way or meet this litmus test, that they were being chastised, pushed away. And the truth is, most of us, all of us, are complicated, and we have blind spots, and sometimes we say dumb stuff, and if you want to create an environment that is welcoming and makes people feel, okay, there's room for me here, then the message and the story we tell has to be, all right, none of us are perfect. All of us count. We all...
That's a bit of a word salad. He's trying to get away with a word salad.
All have good in us that we can...
I'm going to cut you off, Barry. You're boring. You're boring. Obama, the other side does the mean, angry, exclusive, us-them divisive politics. That's their home court. Our court is coming together. He really said that. I am not going to play that clip. I'm not going to bother in playing that clip. Again, on the left, Obama parrots thanks Western Lensman for this montage. Obama parrots the ICE use kids as bait hoax because that's a hoax. And the right, Obama says he doesn't want Democrats to start lying and having no regard for the truth the way Republicans do. So he's lying. At the same time, he doesn't want Democrats to lie. That's the thing that we are dealing with. We have been dealing with this for some time. Remember, Kamala as well.
Federal agents, ICE agents, were being deployed without any clear guidelines, training, pulling people off, out of their homes, using 5-year-olds to try to
bait their parents.
Yeah. All the stuff that we saw. I don't want us to have a slash and burn strategy where we don't care about rule of law. We don't care about some of the guardrails around our democracy. We start lying and having no regard for the truth the way the other side seems to be comfortable with right now.
Yeah, I am not going to elaborate on this. We know what, I'm not going to say that every Republican doesn't lie. No, that doesn't happen, but we know all the lies that these people have been pushing. He also mentioned something about aliens actually existing. People were up in arms over this clip, but it was, he later clarified that he was saying that, that we should have some kind of, I don't know, other people in the other beings in the universe and that, but he was really not talking about Area 51 or anything. I don't know. I think it was a nothing burger. But again, I would like to know, what do you think about this 180 in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love.